Okay, so don't get me wrong. Chapter 2 was the first chapter that I started playing Fortnite on. Chapter 2 was when I started playing Fortnite. I started playing during Season X, but I played it. I didn't play Season X a lot, so I don't really count it. So in reality, I started playing on Season X, but I started playing the game more often when Chapter 2 launched around October of 2019. That was so long ago. That was like almost 5 years ago, man. That's insane. It's insane how fast time flies, man. But yeah, anyways, back to the topic of the video. So again, don't get me wrong. I love Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is my favorite Fortnite chapter to ever release. Chapter 5 is a close second place. But yeah, Chapter 5 so far is second place for my favorite chapters. And in first place is Chapter 1. In third place, it's Chapter 3. And in fourth place is Chapter 4. And I'm not going to rank Chapter 1 because again, I didn't play Chapter 1 that often. I did play Season OG, but I didn't play the actual Chapter 1 back in 2017 through 2019. So I'm not going to rank it. So I'm just ranking my 4 chapters that I've played. So again, in first place is Chapter 2, second place is Chapter 5 so far, third place is Chapter 3, and fourth place is Chapter 4. But anyways, back to the main topic of the video. So, Chapter 2 was amazing. I am going to be making a video later about talking about how amazing Chapter 2 was and still is to this day. So yeah, anyways, so for this video I am going to be telling you guys about my version or what I would have done with Chapter 2. Basically my version of Chapter 2. Basically what I would have done with Chapter 2 if I was done on Mustard. If I was done on Mustard, basically this is what I would be doing. Okay, so let's start. So Chapter 2 Season 1 would start off the same, the same way the same way it started in the actual Chapter 2. It would start the same way. Now, I would change the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass I would change. I would change the entire Battle Pass, okay? So there's 8 skins. So I'm gonna make one of the skins a Jonesy. I'm gonna the Jonesy. Okay, these are the skins that I'm going to be adding to my version of the Chapter 2 Season 1 Battle Pass. Okay, so number 1 Jonesy, PLE, a Renegade Raider, a Renegade Raider, not ripoff, no, a Renegade Raider reskin, a Renegade Raider reskin, a Lynx reskin. Did I already mention PLE? Yeah, I think I did. So yeah, PLE. Okay, let's restart. So Jonesy, PLE, a Renegade Raider reskin, a Lynx reskin. I'm missing 4 more. 4 more. What are 4 other iconic Fortnite Chapter 1 characters? Bright Bomber, a Bright Bomber reskin. That's 5. 3 more. A Rupture reskin. I think that's his name. Rupture. Yeah, I think that's his name. Rupture. So yeah, a Rupture reskin. That's 6. 2 more. 1 more, and then for the secret skin. Okay, so 1 more. 1 more. 1 more. 1 more. 1 more. Come on. Come on. 1 more. Let's just do, I don't know, a random Chapter 1 skin. And for the secret skin, I would do... What would I do for the secret skin? I would definitely want it to be an original... Actually, the secret skin is going to be... God, bro, this is so hard. The secret skin is going to be... I don't know. Just something random. Something random. Something random. I don't know. Yes, something random. I don't care. Oh yeah, actually, scrap the peely. I'm gonna cut the peely off. I'm not gonna add peely because peely is gonna be a part of the Chapter 2 Season 2 Battle Pass. So I'm not gonna add peely to the Battle Pass. Okay, the secret skin is gonna be the Renegade Raider reskin. That's it. Okay, so Chapter 2 Season 1 would play out the exact same way it did back in the original Chapter 2. The Halloween event would still happen and all that, and then after that, for the mid-season updates, I would... So you guys know all the Chapter 2 Season 2 POIs, right? Agency, Shark, Grotto, the Rig, and the Yacht. Well, all those 5 POIs are going to start being built in Chapter 2 Season 1 instead of it being instead of it being, just spawned there in Chapter 2 Season 2. So on the mid-season update for Chapter 2 Season 1, I would have the agency, the yacht, the grotto, the rig, and the shark all being built throughout the season, starting with the mid-season update. So all those 5 POIs are going to start being built from starting in on the mid-season update until the season ends. And another thing I would change is for the mid-season update, I would bring back the drum gun from blue rarity all the way to gold rarity, and then I would bring back the minigun. I'll bring back the minigun. I would bring back the grappler. I would bring back the scars for winning the game. So yeah, the scars for winning the game. So yeah, I would bring back the boom. I would bring back a. What else? I'm gonna bring back the AK from blue rarity all the way to gold rarity, and then I would add a new weapon called a bow. It's just gonna be a bow. You know, actually, I'm gonna bring back the shockwave bow. I would add the shockwave bow as well. Also, in this mid-season update, I would introduce the gold system. Yeah, so yeah, I would introduce the gold system. Also, once the agency, also the all the 5 POYs are not gonna be finished until Chapter Season 2. So all the 5 POYs, agency, yacht, and the rest, they're gonna start being built in Chapter 2 Season 1, but they're not gonna be. Sorry, I am stuttering, man. Sorry, I just woke up. So they're gonna start getting built, but they're not gonna be finished until Chapter 2 Season 2 launches. So yeah, by the time Chapter 2 Season 2 launches, all those 5 POIs are gonna be built, or they're all gonna be finished. But yeah, like I was saying, in this mid-season update, I would introduce the gold system, and also I would add a few golden coins around all the 5 POIs to tease Midas. And also, I would add a bunch of golden objects throughout the five locations to tease Midas. So yeah, and that's pretty much all I would change for Chapter 2 Season 1. Okay, Chapter 2 Season 2, the Battle Pass will be the exact same. Deadpool will still be the secret skin. Actually, I might change the secret skin. I don't know. We'll see. I might just keep it at Deadpool because I don't really care. But yeah, Chapter Season 2. I'm going to change a lot for this season. Chapter Season 2. Okay, so Chapter Season 2 is going to launch the same way it did. Chapter Season 2 is going to launch with the agency, the Midas boss with the Midas drum gun, the grotto with Brutus and the mythic minigun, the shark with Sky and the mythic scar, the rig with Tiantina and her mythic kaboombo, and the yacht with Meowsicles mythic pew pew rifle. What I would change is that I would add the turrets. I would add normal turrets across. I would add the normal turrets to be able to spawn at those 5 POIs, and I would also add the turret items. I would also add that, and then I'm gonna bring back C4, and then I'm gonna bring back what else? I'm gonna bring back shockwaves and impulses. I'm gonna add proximity mines. What else? I'm gonna just add a bunch of spy themed weapons, and items. For this season, I'm gonna just add a bunch of spy themed stuff. And yeah, what else would I change about this season? So I think that's it. Also, another thing I would change during Also, I would introduce the IO in this season in the event. During the device event, the IO is going to mess with the device, and in doing so, it's going to kill Midas. So basically, when Midas is activating his device midway through the event, IO is going to interfere with the device, with the Doomsday device, and it's going to overload Midas or something and kill him, and basically eliminate him. And then that's it for Chapter 2 Season 2. And for Chapter 2 Season 3, it would be the exact same. The flood would still be there, except the map would be a little bit more flooded, like a little bit more flooded than it was back in the actual Chapter 2 Season 3. Also, I would also introduce the IO in this season, like the IO would make their first appearance on the map during this season. And since the entire map was flooded, and we know that Chapter 2 has a flip side what I would do is, since the map was flooded by Midas and Midas is now dead, the IO base in between the Chapter 2 map and the Chapter 3 map would get flooded as well, forcing the IO to come towards the Chapter 2 island. And they would start making bases. They would start making IO bases throughout the map. And yeah, and again, the flood is going to slowly dry out throughout the season, so like it did in the original Chapter 2 Season 3, so yeah. And yeah, and also, the Midas team, so Midas's team is going to be, so Midas's team, right? Sky, Brutus, Tiantina, Meowsicles, and that's it. I would also add two more members in this season. I would add Marigold and Jules. They would now be a part of Midas' team, and Midas' team is going to try to look for him because they don't believe that Midas is actually dead. So yeah, that would be pretty much the entirety of Chapter 2 Season 3. Now, for Chapter 2 Season 4, it is going to be very, 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 very different. So Chapter 2 Season 4 is not going to be a Marvel-themed season now. Chapter Season 4 is going to be the return of Midas. So Shadow Midas is going to be the main character for this season. And of course, this season is going to have the Halloween event, and Shadow Midas is going to be the main character. So Shadow Midas is going to come back. So Midas is going to return in this season. And yeah, and in this season, all the 5 POIs are going to be rebuilt again. They have all been rebuilt in this season, but they're going to look different. They are now Shadow. Instead of Ghost, they are now all of the 5 POIs are Shadow themed instead of it being Ghost. So yeah, all the members of Midas' team are now Shadow instead of Ghost. So yeah. And then what I would do is, Shadow Midas, right? So it turns out that when Midas died in the Device event, he was trapped in the underworld. He has been trapped in the underworld, and he managed to escape from the underworld, and he came back to the Chapter 2 island to get revenge on the IO. So Midas comes back. He reunites with his team and his daughter and his wife Marigold, and yeah, and Midas is going to be the main boss for the agency. I wouldn't make the authority. The authority would not happen. It's just always going to be the agency. All the other 5 bosses, all the other 4 bosses would also spawn. So yeah, actually no. Midas is going to be the only boss. The other 4 bosses are just going to be NPCs. They're just all going to be NPCs. Midas is going to be the only boss, and he's going to drop the Shadow Midas drum gun. So yeah, once you defeat him, of course, yeah. And also, Shadow Midas at the start of Chapter Season 4, Shadow Midas is going to be purple. But throughout the season, he's going to slowly start turning green, just like he did in Chapter 5 Season 2, where he turned green. Basically, what this does is that this shows that Midas has been trapped in the underworld. Basically, this is my way of showing that Midas has pretty much been trapped in the underworld since Chapter 2 Season 2. And then he escaped in Chapter 2 Season 4. So yeah, and he's slowly going to start turning green and green until he turns fully green, showing off his underworld style or whatever you want to call it. And then once he turns fully green, he's going to drop a underworld Midas drum gun green ghost thing, whatever you want to call it. Green Shadow Midas, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, and this season is basically going to be a war between the IO and the Shadow. It's just going to be a full-on war. And then that's pretty much it. That's all I would do for this season. For the event, I have no idea what I would do. This is just, me giving you guys each theme for each season, pretty much. But yeah. And for Chapter 2 Season 5, what I would do for Chapter 2 Season 5? Oh yeah, for Chapter 2 Season 4. I forgot. I would also introduce Kato Thorn in Chapter 2 Season 4. And Kato Thorn is going to be the one that cuts Midas' hand in Chapter 2 Season 4. And then in Chapter 2 Season 5, Midas gets a prosthetic arm or hand or whatever. And then Chapter 2 Season 5, actually for Chapter 2 Season 4, Kato Thorn defeats Midas and the rest of his team. They are all defeated. And in Chapter 2 Season 5, Kato Thorn is going to take over the agency, the shark, the grotto, the rig, and the yacht. And all those 5 POIs are going. Okay, so the agency is going to be Eclipse Estate, and all the other 4 POIs are going to be massive IO bases. So basically, Kato Thorne is working with the IO. That's what I would change about Kato Thorne. He's working with the IO. So yeah. Also, Agent Jonesy would be introduced in this season alongside with Kato Thorne, and Dr. Sloan would also be introduced, and Jenna would also be introduced. So yeah, actually no. All those characters would be introduced last season, season 4. So Jenna, Agent Jonesy, yeah, Dr. Sloan, and Kato Thorne would all be introduced in Chapter 2, Season 4. Actually, no. Sorry. I am all over the place. Sorry, no. Dr. Sloan and Agent Jones would all be introduced in Chapter 2, Season 3. Jenna and Kato Thorne would be introduced in Chapter 2, Season 4. And in Chapter 2, Season 5, obviously, like I explained, Kato Thorne is going to be taking over the agency, and the other 4 POIs are going to be massive IO bases. So, yeah. And then for Chapter 2, Season 6, what I would do is... What would I do for Chapter 2, Season 6? For Chapter 2, Season 6. For Chapter 2, Season 6, I would make it the... I'm going to make Chapter 2, Season 6 the alien season, when the last reality first got introduced. So instead of it being Chapter 2, Season 7, it's going to be in Chapter 2, Season 6. Chapter 2, Season 6 is basically going to be the Chapter 2, Season 7. Chapter 2, Season 7, basically, Chapter 2, Season 6, it's just basically going to be Chapter 2, Season 7. So it's going to have the mothership, it's going to have a bunch of alien things. Basically, what I would do is I would add a bunch of alien guns, alien items, all that stuff. And for Chapter 2, Season 7, I would have so basically in Chapter 2, Season 7, the IO defeats the last reality. Okay, so in Chapter 2, Season 7, this would be the final season of my version of Chapter 2, because to be honest, I have no idea. I have no idea what else to do. Basically, I had a plan where Midas would be the entire main character for this chapter. So basically, for my version of Chapter 2, Midas would pretty much be the main character of this entire chapter, pretty much. He would be in each season, and then the IO is also going to be a main focus for this chapter, and the last reality is also going to be a main focus. But Midas is going to be like the main focus, basically, pretty much. So, yeah. Okay, I also forgot to mention that for Chapter 2, Season 2, I would bring back the Flores Lava game mode, but basically for Chapter 2, Season 2, I would introduce the Midas Presents Flores Lava LTM that we got in Chapter 5, Season 2, which is the season that we're on right now. I would introduce that. But, yeah. Okay, so in conclusion, what I would change about Chapter 2 from my version of Chapter 2 is that I would make Midas the main character for this entire chapter. It would be the main focus for this entire chapter. And Midas, throughout this chapter, is going to be defeating the IO until he fully defeats the IO, and the IO is taken down by Midas and his shadow team. And then the last reality is going to show up eventually during Chapter 2, and then Midas is going to have to team up with not the IO. Midas is going to have to team up with the 7, and yeah, and also what I would change is I'm not sure if I would make Midas a 7 member or if I would make him work with the 7, but he's not a part of the 7. I think I would make him work with the 7, but not be a part of the actual team of the 7. So yeah, so Midas is going to have to team up with the 7 to take down the last reality once and for all, and then the island's gonna flip, and then we're gonna have Chapter 3. What I would change about the flip event is that I would make the Chapter 3 basically the Chapter 1 map, but it's still gonna be the Chapter 3 map that we got, but with some Chapter 1 stuff, with a few Chapter 1 biomes and with a few Chapter 1 locations, basically. That's what I would change. So, yeah. And basically, again, for Chapter 2, Season 1, the only thing I would change is that I would that all the 5 POIs that I mentioned earlier, so the agency, the yacht, the shark, and the rest, they're all going to start being built in that season. They're all going to start being built in that season. They're not going to be finished built until Chapter 2 Season 2 releases. And then Chapter 2 Season 2, we're going to have the agency, which is going to have Midas and his mythic drum gun. And the shark is going to have Sky and their mythic Scar and Grappler. And Buddhist is going to have the mythic minigun at the grotto. We're going to have Tiantina with her mythic Kaboombo on her rig. And at the yacht, we're going to have Meowsicles with his mythic Pew Pew rifle. Also, I forgot to mention that for Chapter 2 Season 1, on the mid-season update, when all these 5 POIs start being built, I would bring back the drum gun from blue rarity all the way to gold rarity. I would bring back the minigun. I would introduce a Kaboombo, but it's not going to be the mythic. I would bring back the AK from blue rarity all the way to gold rarity. I would bring back the grappler, and I feel like I'm missing one. Yeah, and the Scar, which is already in the game. So yeah, and then also for Chapter 2 Season 2, I would bring back, I would introduce the Midas Presents Floors Lava game mode that we got in Chapter 5 Season 2. So yeah, and I would also add for Chapter 2 Season 2, I would also add a bunch of spy items. I would add the turret items. I would add the C4, the proximity mines, and a bunch of stuff like that. I would also add a invincibility gauntlet, stuff like that to make the season fun and stuff like that. So yeah, I would also bring back shockwaves for mobility and stuff like that. I would just add a bunch of spy themed items. And for Chapter Season 3, it's going to be the exact same thing. Actually, I'm going to change Chapter 2 Season 3. So Chapter 2 Season 3 is going to be the exact same, but Midas doesn't die. Midas does not die. Like I said earlier, do you guys remember when I said earlier that Midas is going to die in my version of the device event? No, I changed my mind. This chapter is going to be heavily Midas centered. So Midas is going to be the main character for this entire chapter. So Midas does not die in the device event. So Midas, after the device event, the entire map floods. So for Chapter 2 Season 3, I would introduce Jules and Marigold to be a part of Midas' team, being called Shadow, and the other 4 members, Sky, Brutus, Meowsicles, and Tiantina would all still be a part of the team alongside Midas, Jules, and Marigold. They would all still be a part of the team. And for this season, what I would change is that Midas and his team is going to start rebuilding the entire map. And in this season, Lazy Lake is going to be rebuilt into Tilted Towers. That's what I would change as well. Lazy Lake, Midas is going to rebuild Lazy Lake into Tilted Towers, and Midas is also going to rebuild Holly Hedges and change it into Greasy Grove. And yeah. And then obviously Midas is going to rebuild the agency, the shark, the yacht, the rig, and the grotto. They're all going to be rebuilt. And for Chapter 2 Season 4, what I would do is that I would Midas is going to so in Chapter 2 Season 3, what I would do is what would I do? Okay, so here's what I would do actually. Change of plans. Midas is going to die in the device event. Change of plans yet again. Midas is going to die in the device event, but he is not going to die by the IO. The IO is not going to be a part of this season. Of this chapter. The IO is not going to be a part of this chapter. They're going to be introduced in Chapter 3 from my version of the Chapter 3. So yeah. So basically, the device is going to malfunction, and it's going to overload Midas and kill him. And Midas, and in doing so, Midas is going to get sent to the underworld, and he's going to be trapped there until Chapter 2 Season 4 arrives. And for Chapter 2 Season 3, what I would do is the entire map would be flooded, like usual. It would be flooded. The entire map is going to be flooded. And what I would change is that the 4 original members, which are Sky, Meowsicles, Brutus, and Tiantina, they would all Tiantina, and I would add 2 new members, which are Jules, Midas' daughter, and Marigold, Midas' wife. And all those in that team are going to start rebuilding The 5 POI. So Agency, the Rig, the Grotto, the Yacht, and the Shark. And again, they're also going to rebuild Lazy Lake and turn it into Tilted Towers. And they're also going to rebuild Holly Hedges and change that into Greasy Grove. And yeah, actually, I might not add Greasy Grove. Actually, I might just keep Holly Hedges. Yeah, I don't want to add 2 million Chapter 1 POIs. I'm going to just add Tilted Towers because it's iconic. That's the only reason. So, yeah. Okay, so again, for chapter and after they all finish rebuilding, the entire team is going to start looking for Midas because they don't believe they're dead, and they've tracked him using the device using the Doomsday device. They tracked Midas and they found his location, and they found out that he is trapped in the underworld. And then chapter 2 season 4, they're going to rescue him and they're going to bring him back. And for chapter 2 season 4, the entire theme for chapter 2 season 4 it's not going to be Marvel themed. Chapter 2 season 4 is going to be themed after Shadow Midas. So Shadow Midas is going to be the main character for the season. And also, what I would change, another thing I would change is that all the 5 POIs, Agency, the Rig, the Grotto, the Shark, and the Yacht, they're all going to be shadow themed instead of it being ghost. They're all going to be shadow themed instead of ghost. So yeah, at the start of the season, Shadow Midas is going to be purple, but throughout the season, he is slowly going to start turning green, just like he did in Chapter 5, Season 2, to show that he's been trapped in the underworld for a long time, and well, not for a long time, for one season. So basically, Midas turning green is just my way of showing that he's been trapped in the underworld. And once he turns fully goes to green, he is going to drop a ghost green Midas drum gun. And that'll be the entire theme for Chapter 2 Season 4. And for Chapter 2 Season 5, I would actually introduce the IO, but in a smaller role. I would introduce the IO, and basically Midas is going to be fighting the IO, but he's not going to die. So basically, Chapter 2 Season 5 is going to be the Shadow versus the IO season. And for Chapter 2 Season 6, what I would do is I would make Kato Thorn. Chapter 2 Season 6, what I would do is it would be the Kato Thorn season. Actually, the IO is not going to be defeated in Chapter 2 Season 5. They're going to be defeated in Chapter 2 Season 6 with Kato Thorn. And they're going to be defeated by Shadow. But I would say that's Midas' team. And for Chapter 2 Season 7, and Chapter 2 Season 7 and 8 are going to play out the same, except in Chapter 2 Season 8, Midas is going to have to team up with the 7 to defeat the IO. I mean, not the IO, to defeat the last reality once and for all. Okay, so yeah, if you guys are wondering, my background gameplay, if you guys have been watching my background gameplay and you're wondering, how are you playing Chapter 2 in Chapter 5? Well, Jackus is a creator, is a UEFN creative map creator, and he created a Chapter 2 late game UEFN map. Basically, this is a Chapter 2 late game where you can fight in basically it works the exact same way the actual Fortnite late game mode works. Basically, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, basically yeah. The map card is on your screen if you guys want to play it. So yeah, I recommend you guys play it. It's an incredible map. I love it, and yeah, it's an incredible map to play. It's really fun to play, and yeah. So basically, yeah. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my version of Chapter 2. I know this video felt kind of scuffed. I was, yeah. I should start making videos more, with more energy, I should start writing scripts instead of just coming on the mic and just talking, I should start writing scripts. That way I don't stutter, that way I can read and not stutter and make good videos. Yeah, for my next video, I'm gonna try to write a script. Yeah, for future videos, I'm gonna just try to write a script from now on. So yeah, but yeah, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next one. Peace. Goodbye.